have 150 acres.
But the city.
The city can't annex.
City can't annex.
Only property owners can request to be annexed. The city can't annex somebody against their will. It's against the law.
Or just by surprise, so.
No,
Right,
it's against the law.
it's against the law.
Okay.
And then, Mary, this is like the Oak Park area, right?
Yeah.
And so the SNL is the same as like the
Suburban
lowest.
neighborhood
The
low.
lowest, yeah, so there was some confusion because a lot of those little blocks were in there. Thank you.
Does that answer your question? Okay.
Because there's those comment sheets here, if you want to write down an official comment and questions. There's also the plan document floating around, please.
No, you have to ask.
One house wants to be annexed, and next one don't want to be annexed, and they're not in it. Innocent below. Like got New York side, they want to be in the city.
Somebody got a question?
No, it goes by lot, it doesn't go by section. Lot by lot.
I love it. My first husband and I, they were first. Like it was our dream. But then he got really, he got like, Bigley Hill.
And it just shows you the yellow residential, red shade, commercial, purple residential.
Just listen, just listen. That's all we
Our
can.
neighbors,
The airport boundaries, but as you can see, these were removed.
See that guy up there?
Yeah.
Look at that guy going along.
Yeah, people get seasonal affected disorder, yeah. Yeah, I got it
No,
too.
and so this is the red, this is the red line here. It's really not. It's outside the city.
That guy's got a gun.
So the other one, and then there's property inside the city.
Yeah. Yeah. Denali.
Yeah, there he goes. He's got a camera permit.
Yeah.
There's no reason.
Yeah, winter time, summer it's beautiful there. Just, it's amazing. It's a beautiful state. It's amazing. Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, it's amazing.
Well, it's 1 o'clock, let's
Yeah,
go.
there's some, there's right here. Yeah. Look at how
Yeah, yeah.
So all of that are large undeveloped areas. And so there's a large undeveloped land here.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's a beautiful area.
I'd like to go.
Oh, is that right? Well,
Yeah, no.
so now somebody can come in and say, okay,
My frame? Yeah. Yeah, I would take a cruise, because then it's like a wait, stop, bop, 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 bop.
So that's, right now, marble, and there's a lot of.
Yeah. Well, and it's funny, a lot of people in Alaska, they vacation in Hawaii, because it's right, they just fly down, or they take their ship down.
There's no application.
Like where people here go to Panama City for vacation, even Alaska go to Hawaii for vacation. Me neither. I'd rather go to Tampa. Yeah, me too. Yeah, that's why we're ready to get out of Tampa. We hadn't been to like 10 years. Yeah.
So this
Yeah. Was with visitors. Yeah, us too. Yeah, us too.
roads are called university, so you gotta have a plan. So, well, people, you need to go about 2% a year. You look at the plan, so it shows year over year, because it's not much good. This is forever. You had a little bit of growth in 2020, consensus of 9%. Well, 2%. So short.
Hey, Bill. We know Bill from goes, yeah. And they could never get you to come. Never could get you to come.
No, that's right. I'm too dumb.
Well, I don't know anything either, but neither sure does.
Yeah. Smart enough for the both of us. So you don't need to. So I don't need to.
He's played with us.
They're back here by where the
Good afternoon to everyone. Welcome to our first town hall meeting, kick off our opportunity to answer questions that you have about our comprehensive development plan. This afternoon we'll have our planning director, Ms. Mary San Diego, is here, who's as familiar with this document as anyone in Tullahoma. Next in order of familiarity is probably Winston Brooks, who started this as our community coordinator, and he's certainly totally familiar with it. And our city administrator, Ms. Jennifer Moody. I'm here to listen. So, but thank you for coming to take an interest in what we're doing. This is your plan, and we want to get as much of your input into this plan as we possibly can. So it's kind of there'll be other people kind of coming in during this time, I'm sure, and feel free to go anytime you want to, just so long as we get your questions answered before you need to leave. So with that, I'll turn it over to Ms. Mary San Diego, and Mary, you have any opening remarks?
No, I just appreciate everybody taking the time to come here and answer questions and provide additional input on the draft plan as we're moving forward. You can feel free to ask questions right now in front of everybody, and I'll write down the comments. Or you can just come directly and speak with myself, Ms. Moody, Winston, and just ask me questions just between the two of us, and I can write down your comments if you feel more comfortable that way. So, anybody have any questions or comments? Yes. What was your name, sir? I have to keep a record. Joe. Okay.
My wife and I live in some of the states.
Okay.
And here. It's showing as a suburban road with TNN optional.
Okay.
Our subdivision has a minimum of 5-acre lots.
Okay.
It's totally built out, and it seems like it should be designated as rural.
Okay, I will make that. So remove heritage estates, hermitage. It's my northern accent. Remove hermitage estates from TNN and replace it with rural residential. That, I believe, has a recommendation, just so you understand, I think rural residential has a minimum lot size recommendation of like a 2-acre lot. Does it? Let's see. It's 2 acres on the draft that the planning commission reviewed. 2-acre minimum lot size. Okay, any other comments? Okay, any questions?
I've got more.
Hold on, we're going one person by person.
Do what?
Sir, are you done? Okay, that's okay.
I'm sorry.
I just got to make sure I keep it obviously always down. Okay, what was your name?
Larry Shelton.
Larry Shelton, okay. What's your address or neighborhood?
1407 Country Club Drive.
1406. Okay, go ahead.
Well, I've got a question about the plan to build behind the tariff
Okay,
in that area. And I don't know, I just noticed here the size of that. Looks like there's going to be several homes or places to live. And what's going to be done about the traffic? With extra traffic is going to be coming across the side of the already
when,
and how you going to control that many cars coming through there?
okay, so when a property was to come in and develop, they are required to submit a traffic study that shows where they're proposing their traffic to flow through, and then we can control what roads they put traffic on through the subdivision and plant unit development approval process. So we can make sure that too much traffic isn't going on a road that can't handle that much traffic. We can also control the density to the project as well. So if it's on a road that can't handle more than 100 additional trips a day, and they're wanting to put 1,000 on there, that would be a reason to justify recommending denial of that project, because we don't have the infrastructure to support that much growth.
I just know how much traffic's on there now since we lived there now for about 20 years. We've noticed that increase in traffic is pretty high now at certain times of the day. And there's nothing there to kind of slow that traffic down. And with the increase of vehicles on that, I can see that being a problem.
Yeah, and now, do you understand that certain roads are designed to handle more traffic than others? So we have local roads that are supposed to be kind of neighborhood, suburban, low traffic, and then there are main roads like Country Club, Short Springs, Jackson, Carroll, that are supposed to handle more traffic, obviously, than the local roads.
Right now, I'm talking about the volume of vehicles.
Yeah, and we do
Control of that, because they speed through there now, I don't see people coming through there all the time. You'll have to stop it somewhere to slow the traffic down.
And we do, in coordination with the Tennessee Department of Transportation, we do traffic counts annually on all our main roads, so we can monitor how much traffic is occurring on these roads, so we can monitor how much additional capacity we have to regulate additional.
And they will probably go back and look at, like in this certain section here, it has another outlet besides just two of them there on the.
Right,
what would matter, whatever the name matters.
make it matter, yeah, the city subdivision regulations as they're currently written require new neighborhoods to connect into each other. So we don't have large neighborhoods with only one way in and one way out anymore. Besides more adequate delivery of services for police, fire, garbage collection, snow removal, also it helps disperse the traffic. So right now you'll see on Country Club in Short Springs, Macon Manor, Terrace Estates, Blandwood, all the subdivisions is only one way in and one way out. So the only way to get anywhere is everybody's got to go on the Short Springs, as opposed to if they were interconnected and then connected to other main roads, that the traffic would be dispersed.
Is some of the traffic going to be let out on Lincoln from this neighborhood?
From which neighborhood?
The one that Anderson Farm?
Yeah, I mean, again, we don't have a proposal for that right now, but yes, they have a direct, there's a city road named Gary Street that leads directly into that property, and it goes right into Grundy, and it continues right onto Lincoln, and then Lincoln is an original arterial. So that would be the main way in and main way
So you
out.
got like 3 of these.
Yeah, right now, there are 1, 2, 3, 4 rights-of-way that connect into that property, existing rights-of-way.
I see some options there. I was just curious about.
Of course.
To corner Carter Lake Roads.
Of course.
That's another way out.
There's certainly one way out.
Any other comments that you had? So how to handle traffic for development? In connections above, okay. Do you have any specific recommendations for revisions to the plan? Any recommendations to revisions to the text of the plan or the map?
Then it being 400 homes stuck in there, I'd like to see a subdivision that has less homes built in one area.
Okay.
I don't, you know,
I don't really.
I'm hearing stories of 400 and 500 homes stuck in this one area, and I don't know. I don't think that's, and I understand that Tullahoma needs more housing, but to stick a bunch of homes on one spot and then be cookie cutter homes, I don't think that's the image that Tullahoma wants. That's my
See the appraisal of my property.
They go down
They
and
go
see
kind
that.
of long.
Right. Okay.
It's a nice area.
Yeah. Okay. Who's next? Anybody else have any comments, questions at this time? Ma'am in the back?
Yes.
What's your name?
Kim Nelson.
Kim Nelson. Okay.
I just have-
Address or subdivision?
None. I have a question because you have remove all rural residential from entire UGB. I don't know what UGB means.
UGB is, Within the plan, that is the urban growth boundary, so those are areas that are in the county's jurisdiction. They're not in the city limits of Tullahoma. However, back in the 90s, state statute required that cities can have a growth area that go out into the county. So right now, we have an urban growth boundary agreement with Franklin County to the south and an urban growth boundary with Coffee County to the north. So those are areas that the property owners in those areas can request to be annexed by the city. If they're annexed, we would determine what the appropriate place type is on a case-by-case basis, depending on the character of the site and that surrounding area.
So can they also be requested to not be annexed by the city?
The city does not have the legal authority to annex anybody against their will. The state statute said property owners can request to be annexed.
Okay, so right now those green spots are just, they're
County property.
got it. Thank
If
you.
somebody in there wants to be part of the city limits, they request the city to annex them.
Okay, thank you.
So Mary, if I could interrupt, since we have so many people and it's very hard to hear at this end what's happening at this end, if I could invite some of you, Winston and I are going to head into this other room and we'll start taking some questions in there. And that'll help everybody get their questions answered a little bit faster, and I think you'll be able to hear better. So are there some that want to join us in the other room?
Do you have these resources in the other room?
We do, we brought some.
Yeah. Go in the other room, smaller group.
Any, who's next? Comments, questions? At this table? Do you have any comments?
Just right down here to your left.
Recommendations?
Another room.
Now it's a comment of a question. I live on Swift Lane, which is off of.
How are you?
Now, the attraction.
How are you, really?
I think that's a good question to answer for 3 hours. I don't think so.
Swift Lane is a very
Okay, I'm gonna go there. I'll get that.
So there is almost no traffic.
Right.
I like it this way.
Okay.
And it's like, I've always wondered, should the city opt to do this, and connect Swift Lane into Irish Circle, and then make it a through street.
Into Charlotte Circle?
Charlotte Circle.
Yeah.
At which time I would pull up stakes and leave.
Okay, I don't think that they're,
I don't
I'm sorry.
think it's gonna happen, but that's always been a fear of mine.
Yeah.
It's a quiet little neighborhood. Most folks wouldn't think much of my place, but I like where I'm at.
well, it's your home.
Pardon? Yes.
It's your home, yeah.
It is that, and
Yeah.
but again, it is a very quiet neighborhood.
Yeah.
And it's like, so, it's stuff like that where that's the, and I've lived there 46, 47 years,
Uh-huh.
and I would
stay there?
like to stay there. So.
Yeah. Well, what the plan says for that area is it's low, suburban neighborhood low, which is low density residential. That's what it's been for decades and will continue to be that. I can see by looking at this map, at the end of Swift Lane and Charlotte Circle, that's all floodplain